I hate to have bad news open a week, but I have no choice because I have Blanca in front of me now. Tomorrow, Blanca will go to the vet to have her tail amputated and have two huge cysts taken off her neck. This has been an ongoing situation, and she's a good dog, and I know I'm in for a fucking bunch of shit, but last week she busted the cyst open on her tail and it wouldn't stop bleeding, so I had to go to the emergency vet for that. Um, I tried as best I could to save it, but they told me there's no way. There's also some other issues going on, so the basic thing is, and I'll switch off from over there to back over here again because she's tired and sleepy and shit. And like I said, this isn't a video I wanted to shoot, but unfortunately, life takes you to certain fucking places that you don't want to be. And like I said, um, honestly, between the two of them in the last couple of weeks, it's taken a lot out of me. I have to physically move them sometimes. Sometimes they're not cooperative. I got to lift them in the car. But this is a whole new ball game, something I didn't want to deal with because the last time she had cysts removed, there was like 7 of them, and I was back at the vet almost every day. I was back 7 times after the surgery. She kept busting stitches open because she's a high energy dog, and she's got golden retriever and pit in her, and she's muscular, and when she does things, it tears. So, and I know this sucks. I'm going to have to leave her there for a few days. I hate to say it, I hate to admit weakness, but physically and mentally right now, I can't handle her. I just can't. I've spent sleepless nights, dealing with this stuff, wondering what's going to happen and shit, and wondering whether I'm going to wake up to another bloody mess. So, in as much as I don't want to put her through this, I have no choice other than that, or I'll lose her. So that's what's going on as far as paying for it, whatever. Up Shit's Creek without a paddle lately, and I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to have to figure something out. One way or another, I always manage to pay my bills, so I'll figure something out. But also want to thank a few people, not mention your names out loud, but a few people have been very generous and, sent me some money to help out with things. Not that I'm sitting here doing a begathon, because I'm not the guy who asks for help. I'm sorry, I'm just not built that way. I try to do everything myself, which might be a detriment to me, but whatever. And a big thank you to Long Gene Silver, who called me up when I posted some of this shit on Facebook and basically told me to chill because I was a nervous fucking wreck, and to some other people that have gotten in touch with me and tried to calm me down, because this isn't fucking easy. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Dealing with a sick person or a sick animal isn't easy, and that seems to have been the story of my life, but be that as it may, I do what I gotta do. But on to something else. I just watched the film that was lost for 30 years, The Pickup. Directed by Lee Frost, written by Lee Frost and Wes Bishop, and actually starring in the cast. Wes Bishop as the lead is Frank. David Friedman is Charlie. Bob Crusay is Sal. And this is really shot well. The thing was, this thing had disappeared. Dave Friedman had been looking for a print of this for 30 years. And Mike Vraney from Something Weird Video found a print, and I believe in Copenhagen or something like that, that had Danish subs burned into it. But it's the only way you can watch this film. And I'll tell you something. This is a really good, interesting film. I wasn't expecting a lot because, I didn't know that much about it. Frost is a very underrated director. And it was this whole, almost team of Frost, Crusay, and Bishop that did a lot of other stuff, like Love Camp Number 7, The Scavengers, Hot Spur, and a bunch of stuff. But this one's shot in black and white and is almost like a film noir, even though it's sort of a roughie. Frank and Tony are 2 bagmen sent from Los Angeles to pick up the skim from Charlie in Las Vegas, played by Dave Friedman. Sal is played by Bob Crusay, as I said. So, on the way back, they see a car that's broken down, and Tony's kind of a horn dog, and there's 2 hot chicks there, and they need basically a ride to a service station. Well, they come on to the guys, and Tony is more easily influenced than Frank. But then they say, let's call the boss, go for a drink, wait till the repairmen pick up their car, and we'll shoot home. Well, there's a nice softcore sex scene in there, and the two guys wind up handcuffed and their mouths duct taped closed. The two chicks know something about the money in the car, so they steal the Cadillac, get back to their car, which really wasn't broken down, something was flipped on the engine, and they transfer the money into that car and go. The two guys free themselves, but in the meantime, Sal had called Charlie and they're not here. Charlie says, I don't know what happened. And you see Charlie actually, Uncle Dave, actually in a sex scene with a hot chick. So there's that, and nobody knows what's going on, and these two guys basically charter a small plane and fly down the highway until they spot the girls' cars and get the pilot to drop them off at the closest airport and then ambush the chicks in their house, which is obviously pretty opulent. Well, the chicks aren't going to tell you where the fucking money is. And Sal and Charlie are going back and forth saying that basically New York is going to kill us. Okay. So, being that the chicks won't talk, they tie them both up and have them on the floor and whip the shit out of them in the roughy scene. Well, now it gets a little bit controversial because the two guys know that basically if they don't get the money, they're fucking dead. So, very innovatively, one guy, Frank tells Tony to take one chick upstairs and stick her in the hot shower until she talks. He ties the other one up and strips a lamp cord and basically tapes electrical wires to her nipples and plugs it in. And there's an interesting effect on the screen with that. And finally, after a protracted scene, she talks. And it winds up that, guess what? The guy behind this mess was Charlie. And Charlie had set them up. But Sal had sent some people to see Charlie, and Charlie killed them. So Charlie now shows up. Well, actually, the two guys take the girls to meet Sal and explain the whole thing. And Sal basically calls them a bunch of dumb fucks, and then it winds up that it is Charlie. And Charlie comes in only to get blown away, and the two men pull the guns on Sal and basically say, hey, we're nowhere to get killed, so we're going to take the $1 million with us. I mean, if we're going to get killed, we may as well get killed for $1 million. So, after they leave, Sal calls the boss in New York and says, yeah, there was a big fuck up, and yeah, Charlie's dead, and he was trying to get the money, and basically a lot of shit happened. And they ask, well, can the money be recovered? And he goes, no, the money was burnt up. So basically he gave these two guys a pass to get away. And then the people in New York tell him, well, we need somebody to take Charlie's place, and he would be honored. So weirdly, it has a happy sort of ending. But the build to get there is really pretty good. And like I said, this underscores Frost's ability as a really good director. And Dave Friedman really thought highly of him and used them to do, I believe it was the Defilers, I think it was. So, these guys were all in bed together, but, Cressy, Frost, and Bishop were a team and did a lot of other things. Unfortunately, none of these guys are with us today at all, none of them. I know there was something with Cressy being shot by a cop trying to stop something. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of information out about these guys either, which is sad. I mean, Dave Friedman's first book is still available. Unfortunately, there's no material, at least the material for the second book seems to have been lost. But this is available on a download from Something Weird Video for like $5.99, and let me tell you something, well worth it. Well worth checking it out because, like I said, it underscores Frost's, skills as a director. And hey, it's good to see Uncle Dave, in his youth, banging some hot chick in some bed. And, basically him and Cressy played mob guys pretty good. So I have to put the show on hiatus for a while. There's 2 more episodes that will air this week about the heavies. And the week after that, I think I'm not going to be available to do anything. I'm not going to apologize for it. I got to do what I got to do. So, if you're religious or whatever, keep Blanca in your prayers because this isn't going to be fucking easy. And like I said, it's going to be real hard caring for a dog that's going to have several huge incisions in her and is very, active. So, Again, my thanks to all the people that have reached out and people that went to help me, and I appreciate it very much. And thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. Above all, take care of your pets, and we'll see you on the flip side.